You're listening to the podcast Gene's Story Here and There Forever. Previously on Gene's Story, after losing touch for 20 years, Theo goes to Gene's clinic for an ankle replacement, but he seems to have something else in mind. Episode 2 The Offer. Gene and Theo each settle into an armchair in Gene's office, and a weird robot rolls toward Gene. With a subtle nod toward Theo, Gene signals the robot to serve his guest first. Theo, surprised, says, "I didn't know they still made this model. A coffee." Gene smiles at the comment as a steaming cup of coffee rises from the top of the tray. Theo takes the coffee and the robot heads over to Gene, presenting another cup. We're not as modern as you folks in the plane," Gene says. "How are you? What have you been up to?" "Can't complain," Theo answers. "I didn't have to tell you I live in a plane." "You didn't need to," Gene says, gesturing his hand up and down in front of his face. Theo grins. "Yeah, I'm clearly in need of some color. And you? How are things? You look in shape." "Well, not much here is still mine," while pointing to different parts on his body. "Bit of a routine here, but hey, look at the news, there's far worse around the world." Theo asks, "Are you still married?" That makes Gene a little bit uncomfortable, but Gene says yes. Theo asks, "With Xiao?" Gene says yes. Theo adds, "I would have been surprised otherwise. You two were mad about each other last time I saw you guys. We should have dinner sometime if you guys are up for it." "I'd love to, but it won't be possible," Gene answers. "Oh, why not?" Theo asks. "Xiao and our daughter May were deported 9 years ago to Community 5. "Huh? Why didn't you go with them?" Theo asks. "It's a long story," Gene says. "I'll tell you another time if that's alright." "Of course, buddy. Sorry for bringing that up." "No worries. How are things in the plane? You still work?" "Well, it's been tough lately, but yeah, I still work. I work for a company called Omni. There are quite a few perks working there, Theo says. But Gene stays silent. "It's been difficult recently because the locals accuse us of holding all the resources and sharing nothing." "Are they right?" Gene asks. Gene already knows the answer, but gives Theo a chance to speak. "That I can't say," Theo says. "Come on, Theo, it's just the two of us here. I think we are, right? Isn't it understandable that the locals want a piece of the pie too?" Gene's caution is warranted. The neural chips constantly send and receive messages, and one never knows who's really listening. Theo briefly smirks as if his latest incoming message amused him, but he regains composure. "Come on, Gene, you know these people don't really care. They've stopped working, and most don't even have a reason to exist anymore." Gene is visibly taken aback by his old friend's lack of empathy. Theo noticed that and tries to correct himself. "Overall, you have to admit that the standard of living around the world has improved a lot thanks to Omni. No one's starving anymore, we can cure almost anything, pretty much every part of the body is replaceable, you work only if you want to, and there's hardly any fake news left." Yeah, the standard of living has improved, but Omni hid its methods at first, and now that we know the truth, I cannot accept having a better life at the expense of the people who still live there. "You've stayed a good person, but damn, why are they even still living there? It's indecent." "Well, I don't think I'm a good person, just human, and I don't think it's really the choice either. After the rising waters, the deportations, the revolts, and AI taking over daily life, being born under the right star has never felt more true." You're probably right. But what about you? Why are you still here? Wouldn't you consider coming to the plane? Here it is. You're recurring? Well, you're not that far off. The board officially wants you to join Omni. "Why me?" Jean asks. You already have excellent surgeons. Yes, but they cannot deliver what the board wants. And what do they want to achieve? Well, to transfer a brain or at least a consciousness into a humanoid. Oh, so they don't want to create sentience. They want immortality. Is that really a good thing for humanity? That's not for me to comment on. But you have worked on this, haven't you? Yes, but a long time ago, Jean answers. Theo fixes him with an unblinking stare. I think that will come back quickly. With your expertise and Omni's latest tech, it's doable. Wow, that's a lot of pressure for me. Nothing the Jean I knew couldn't handle. So if you still have that image of me, then you also know that I could never work for Omni. Too much greed, man. Too little regard for others. Well, in that regard, the new board has improved Omni's image a lot, Theo says. To me, that's just PR stunts. In essence, they didn't change anything in their actions. Well, I think you're being too harsh, Theo says. Let me arrange a meeting with them. It might change your perspective. No need to say that Omni will pay you very well. Money is not an object, you know. A scientist would work for free if convinced of the good deeds. True, but keep in mind that these people are extremely powerful. Just name your conditions. I'm not asking for an answer right now, but offers like this don't come around every day. Gene's neurons and neural chip raised to simulate all possible conditions and their outcomes. You're right, Theo. It's an interesting offer, but I cannot accept. Alright, tell me, if you don't work on the brain and the consciousness, what do you work on? Mainly replacement? Well, yeah, replacement of human organs or members is a big part of what we do here. And this goes from basic functional cybernetic parts to more enhanced components, obviously within the law. Obviously. So you have a permit? Theo asks. Yes, of course. Alright, man. I don't want to bother you too much. I'll be going. Thanks for your time. I'll be in town for an extra few days before heading back. So if you have any questions or hopefully if you change your mind, please feel free to reach out. And we can go grab something to eat if you will. Yeah, thanks, man. It was good to see you again. Likewise. Theo stands up, followed by Jean. The two shake hands, but as Jean tries to let go, Theo keeps holding on, looking at him straight in the eyes. You okay, Theo? Yes, sorry. Theo finally lets go. Just think about it, please. Carte blanche. Thanks again. Theo leaves the office. In the next episode, experience the debrief between Theo and Victor, his humanoid assistant. Theo says, "Yeah, notice anything?" Victor answers, "Nothing, sir. Same for the walls you scanned. But on the ground there was something weird." Subscribe for more. Thank you and have a good day.